their program has to offer, what improvements have been made with some of these young kids, and a look at some of the new guys as well. Here's a look at Upper Iowa's starting five. It'll be Jack Miller, Trey Lewis, our impact player of Kyle Hernser, Kale Reichter, and Eric Knies, the starting five for Upper Iowa. Into the paint. First shot, no good, and clearing out with the rebound is Will Hornseth, the true sophomore.
Hornseth coming off that great freshman year.
Five for UNI, Max Weisbrod, Trey Campbell, Will Hornseth, Tristan Smith, the transfer, and Leon Bond. Bond misfiring from the wing.
Ben Schweiger is not going to play tonight. He's got a minor injury. They want to get him healthy for Thursday's opener.
Well, watching some of their practices, the Panthers go very hard. A lot of floor burns and bumps and bruises with how hard they've been battling. Sometimes the ones versus the twos, extremely competitive. A contested shot, able to get it to go in. Our impact player Hernser gets the first points of this game.
Yeah, big and strong. Hernser can score over the top. And the Panthers, one thing I noticed when I saw their practice, Eric, they are 10-11 deep, so very competitive practices.
Good job reaching in to tie up Hornseth. Hornseth attacks, and free throws coming. Hornseth, one of the best at getting to the free throw line last year. Here's another look at that bounce pass.
Good
from Bond.
Execution on the pick and roll, and then they pocket bounce pass by Leon Bond on the sophomore Hornseth. He's going to have to take up a lot of space inside. We mentioned Jacob Hudson has moved on. Titan Anderson, those are guys who scored a lot of points in the paint.
Hornseth was a 68% shooter from the field, but only a 54% free throw shooter. So 23 of 42 last year. First one and second one, I don't think either hit the rim.
Nothing but nylon, and he broke Austin Fife's record, UNI season record for field goal percentage, and set the Valley record, 68%. That is highly efficient.
71 made field goals out of 104 attempts, 68.3. Open three-pointer, just rimming out, and strong rebound secured. And now up the near sideline come the Panthers.
Good defensive transition by the Peacocks.
Getting into the passing lanes, UNI keeps it here. Interesting to see how deep both these coaches will go. You talked to both of them today at shoot-arounds. A new coach at Upper Iowa, and the dean of the Missouri Valley Conference coaches, Ben Jacobson, leading the UNI Panthers. Bond spinning. Smith taps it out, sticks with the play. Bodies flying, and it's going to be Upper Iowa basketball.
You can see the athletic ability there of Smith to keep that ball alive, but then resulted in a turnover for the Panthers.
Well, Upper Iowa defensively might be doing some switching and doing a lot of different things defensively that might work out differently when you're not playing a bigger D1 opponent like UNI.
Oh, we talked to their new coach, Casey Kasperbauer. He's got a lot of connections to Northern Iowa we'll talk about later, but he wants to do some switching at all positions, which he thought might not be real effective tonight, but in the league, it'll work for them.
And in games like this, you want to work on the things and take from practice out against opponents to see what you need to work on. And it's a good measuring stick.
You're checking on execution, how well can they carry over practice habits to the game on the floor.
Forcing turnovers. Very impressed with Upper Iowa's defense as 5 subs making their way to the scores table. The Peacocks have a 4-2 lead. as mass substitutions coming at the next dead ball.
A good dribble penetration by Trey Lewis. He's out of Johnston, Iowa. Has played at DMAC and also played Florida A&M.
Trey Campbell.
Look for a lot of those threes for Trey Campbell this year. One of the best three-point shooters in the Missouri Valley Conference.
Calm, cool, collected. Campbell. Last year, averaged 30 minutes per game. Don't expect him to come off the court much this season.
Well, Trey Campbell had moved that point guard position exclusively with the injury to R.J. Taylor last season.
They averaged 11.5 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, and shot 43% from deep. Speaking of knocking it in from deep, a big shot by Eric Canesi. He's a redshirt freshman from Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Upper Iowa is getting some dribble penetration in the gaps of Northern Iowa's defense, which is difficult to do, and they're spraying out for some easy shots.
But as you mentioned, it can really stretch out defenses with a three. How about another three?
Hilmer again from the corner. They're getting Northern Iowa to overcommit on the dribble drive. You've got to guard the ball.
He's got your own matchup. 6. Cross-court pass, open look, long. And bodies flying. Foul on Upper Iowa. That is the 6th. No,
I think this is going. This is going to go against the Panthers.
Okay.
Great block out by number 15.
Here's a look at it.
See the block out back there. Izzy got his arm over the top of the big Swede, number 15.
So that's the first foul against UNI. The Peacocks have committed 5. A 3-point lead in the basketball for Upper Iowa. Inside out game again. Why not? Short.
Hilmer was feeling after he knocked those first 2 down. You can see this Upper Iowa team. It's 5 out in the perimeter, leaving the middle wide open. Here's that switching defense you talked about, Eric.
And it's one thing for a 1 and a 2 to switch, or a 3 and a 4. Poke buries it with a man and a hand in his face. That's why he's out there, the junior forward from Bolivar, Missouri.
That's what he did. And that time, Izzy got matched up inside on Hilmer, a 10-inch advantage. But the Panthers could not exploit it.
Offensive tip-in missing. Another shot at it, and another three-pointer. 9 points.
9 points on 4 shots.
Again, 2 offensive tips at that possession.
The 3-ball, the great equalizer in college basketball. And we talked about this off air, Eric. New court here for the Panthers, repainted.
It's a beaut.
Clean look, I really like it.
Taylor drives, good ball movement, pump fake, shoots the 3, makes it. Kyle Pope back-to-back threes. He now has 6 points.
Well, let's see if they count this, because there's a new rule called continuation. This could be a 4-point play.
The officials will talk it over. We'll go to a with 5 Peacocks checking into the game.
Get a good look at number 2, Gian Hutchins, the freshman out of Detroit, Michigan. 6'4", 180 pounds. Really like his game.
Misses both free throws, though. Wonder if that's the first game jitters. Love seeing a healthy R.J. Taylor, number 10 for UNI, out there, not even wearing a knee brace or anything. Very early on in the season, went down with that injury, rehabbed, worked so hard to get back. Real floor general, true point guard. With the ball in his hands, always looking to improve the possession and help his teammates.
I remember distinctly when he tore that Achilles at UIC in the corner. I saw him go down. I knew immediately what it was.
Yeah.
And he has worked hard. He gives it an extra gear for this backcourt for the Panthers. And at the defensive end, you can see what the Peacocks are doing. They're really spreading the court, trying to beat the Panthers off the bounce.
The strategy is working so far. Tristan Smith, one more free throw. He's a grad student, transfer. Big, strong man.
Put up huge numbers at Concordia, an NCAA school in Nebraska.
Yeah, talking to both coaches, the strategy of how you assemble a roster, either at Upper Iowa D2 or here at UNI competing in the Missouri Valley Conference in Division I. You take an NAIA guy, you take D1 transfers, you take some international players. Climbed the ladder to swat that one away. Kind of an awkward tumble, but he's all right. Here's another look at it.
Well, you can see that athletic ability of Smith on the replay. You know, quick he gets up, gets a piece of it, but gets tangled in the lower body on the way down.
Watch out, he almost hit his head on the rim. Immediately, I was just talking to the guys, and everyone just saying how athletic, how strong he is. Number 14, Tristan Smith. And interesting, so Ben Schweiger not playing today due to a lingering injury. Not sure if Smith will be in the starting five with Schweiger when he's back and healthy.
I kind of think you're going to see Schweiger in there Thursday and they bring Max Weisbrod off the bench.
Yeah, a lot of options here.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if R.J. Taylor might start. You know, there's just so many different combinations.
Well, that's what all the experience we talked about, Eric. You know, most minutes in the nation returning
with some
those guys
pieces.
In the backcourt.
Good vision. Nice finish with the defender there. And now 3 points for Smith.
Well, Max set that up with that good dribble drive and playing off 2 feet. But you can see the power, the finish by Tristan Smith.
Almost 1/4 of the way done with this game. 19-17. The attempt there by Hennessy.
Northern Iowa doing a better job of what I call guarding their yard, guarding the ball one-on-one and stopping dribble penetration. Since that last little timeout, I think Ben Jacobson had a few words about his defense. He spoke to his team.
Also one and done with possessions. No extra offensive rebounds and second chance points. Nice drive, but Bond times that block perfectly. Well, Upper Iowa retreats and gets back defensively quickly and gets a swat of their own. A lot of block shots in the last couple minutes here. Bodies everywhere. It's going to result in a wide open three for number 3, and that's good. Trey Lewis, the senior out of Johnston, Iowa, a transfer from Florida A&M, the only D1 transfer in the program.
He had a nice career at DMAC, as Casey Kasperbauer was telling us he's recruiting another player for DMAC and saw him. He's working for South Dakota and said Trey's a better player, so he was happy to get him here at Upper Iowa.
Bond is fouled, stops the clock with 8:47 to play here in the first half. 8 fouls against the Peacocks, only 2 against UNI. And actually with that, it is now 9 fouls against Upper Iowa. So the next will put them in the double bonus.
Vince Jacobson keeps running in subs, looking at different combinations.
Why not?
And keeping his guys fresh.
Panthers have shot terrible, and I was going to say it regardless of if that went in or not. 4 of 10 before that, missing the front end of the 1-on-1. Now 4 of 11 from the charity stripe.
Well, last year's team was an excellent free throw shooting team.
Last year's team, the Panthers, 70% from the floor, 438 out of 630. Peacocks with the lead. Good ball movement, short, but an offensive rebound. And a jump ball call. The possession arrow pointing toward UNI will stay here.
Great effort by Tristan Smith to tie that up on the rebound. He came out of nowhere to get a piece of that basketball, and possession stays with the Panthers.
Campbell, that ball was halfway down, popped out. And now Upper Iowa will have it. Well, Trey Campbell, some honors for him. Missouri Valley Conference preseason watch list. Heading into this year, 909 career points, 377 career rebounds, 197 career assists, and 63 consecutive starts. Started since his true freshman year. Cedar Falls native.
Nice to keep that talent at home. Another product of Cedar Falls High School. A great ball movement there.
Quick passes, found the open teammate. And Smith now with 5.
Well, Leon Bond, excellent job of vision. He knew before he caught the ball that Smith would have his guy pinned inside. And this is a small lineup you're going to see the Panthers use some with Tristan Smith at 6'6" as their 5-man.
Yeah. There is your center for UNI with the finish. And now 5 subs set to come in next dead ball. Panthers lead by 1. Peacocks with the ball.
Bond dropping another dime as he gets out in transition. Creates some space. Gets Smith an easy basket.
We saw a couple games where Bond could put up 20 points pretty effortlessly, but he also has that vision to get 8 to 10 assists, it looks like. With 2 on the shot clock. Big time shot. That's Jack Miller. He's out of Jessup, Iowa, just down the road.
Yep.
A sophomore out of the Cedar Valley. Has a lot of fans in attendance here.
And also golfs for the Upper Iowa Peacocks. I was going to get a little advice on my stroke from him.
Speaking of stroke, well, nothing prettier than that. Number 4, Trey Campbell, almost at double digits already, with 6.5 to play here in the first half.
You know, he does it so quietly too, Eric. You look up and he's got double figures. He's 1 shy of double figures. He's going to have a great senior year for Northern Iowa.
And he's one of the best defenders as well.
That was his big area last year. He wanted to make the all-defensive team. And I checked, of the 16 players who received all-conference honors, Trey one of them, only 3 came back.
Out of 16.
Out of 16, Chase Walker and Johnny Kinzinger at Illinois State, and Trey Campbell. He's the dean of the Valley.
And out of those, how many top 3 finishes in the Valley out of those 19 years as well? Well, it's the 125th year of UNI men's basketball, celebrating that all year long. And to have Jacobson here, and not counting when he was an assistant under McDermott before being the head coach as well.
We had a nice reunion about a month ago of that 125 years that Ben Jacobson and Haley, who's our
director of ops.
I know she put the whole thing together. Yeah. It was a fun event.
I saw pictures and heard some stories as guys from all the different generations.
We had the Norm Stewart guys there from the 60s, Jim Barry's clan, Eldon Miller's guys. It was a fun night of basketball. Just celebrating 125 years.
You got to celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, and milestones. No doubt about that. All right, 5 on the shot clock. Campbell goes to work. What a feed. And then Bond has the easiest part of that job with the 2-hand flush.
Great move by Campbell. He was off balance, falling down, delivers the bounce pass. And Bond finishes. Now, if you're the Peacocks, under 5 minutes, you want to stay here with the Panthers. You cannot let Northern Iowa get a run. They played really well this far. Oh, yeah.
What a shot. Again, almost had to change the trajectory with the defender in his face. That's Tate Peterson. He's a 6'1", 170-pound junior out of Monticello, Iowa. Monticello High School, a transfer from Kirkwood Community College. Campbell says, if no one's guarding me, I'll just take this shot. A little long on it. 1 possession ball game.
Great hands by Campbell.
Hilmer with it. He has 9 points. He'll throw it. And the shot rims out for number 24, Flugpot. Bond lost it on the way up, and it's going to be upper.
Last year, Nick Reed out of Central City averaged just under 24 a game for the Peacocks. I remember watching
average.
I watched him play a high school game, and I called P.J. Hogan. I said, "Do you know this guy?" This one, he's a sophomore. I think he had like 30 of the team's 34 at half. He had a great career for Brooks McGowan and the Peacocks.
Two-point game, first half, starting to wind down here from the McLeod Center. Open three, good again. That is the sophomore from Jessup, as Jack Miller has 5 points.
Again, great ball movement by the Peacocks. There's Sharon Sugar, move it around the perimeter, gets an open look. It's going to be some great learning tape for Northern Iowa on how to guard this 5-out, 0-in offense.
Forcing another turnover. And in this game, playing competitive exhibition games and early non-conference games, that's really been what a lot of college coaches like.
Well, and you got to be who you are, play your style no matter who the opponent is in these exhibitions. And Casey Kasperbauer said, we're not going to double the post. They haven't done that. They have not got burned inside, and they've been excellent ball movement on the perimeter.
Campbell would have liked to have that one back. Upper Iowa feels like they have momentum right now and the lead.
They do a great job of getting the ball from side to side, moving the defense.
Spacing is key. Not the shot they wanted, though.
I've been really impressed with the Peacocks defensively. Panthers starting to break down a little bit, trying to call their own numbers, and they are not having success.
Forcing a lot of turnovers. Jump ball, it's going to be Upper Iowa's basketball with 1:52 to play here in the first half. Here's a look at it again. Great job by our replay operators in the control room. Our director and producer and engineer as well.
Oh, it's a great learning moment for the freshman, Hutchins. Get pinned on that baseline. There's nowhere to go. But Panthers know they're in a game. Peacocks
no doubt
playing with
about
confidence.
That. No doubt about that.
Coach Jake was not happy with his defense after their scrimmage against South Dakota.
And if you've followed Ben Jacobson's coaching career, his successful teams hang their hat on the defensive end. Kinessi, the redshirt freshman, knocks in another tray. He has 6, and it's a 4-point lead for Upper Iowa.
8 of 16 from long range for the Peacocks.
The great equalizer.
Hilmer's got 3 of them. There's one by Bond to answer.
Bond is 9 points.
Now I looked at Hilmer. Hilmer's got 3. He only shot 20% last year from the distance. I saw that and it surprised me because that is a basketball family. I knew he could shoot the rock.
Upper Iowa again, another turnover.
Yeah, that's number 6 for the Panthers.
How many turnovers are too many first half turnovers?
Well, what's more impressive is Upper Iowa only has 3. They've done a great job of handling the rock against this pack line defense.
Under a minute to go.
Well, again, Upper Iowa breaking down UNI's defense and beating to the rim. Sloppy at the other end.
Turnover, and then a foul. 5th foul for UNI, so no free throws.
Frustration foul there by Hutchins. The freshman turned it over and then tried to get it back. Trying to spin in the interior defense. There's too many hands and too many blue jerseys.
About a 5-second differential shot clock, game clock.
It's one of those moves you can get away with in high school, but in the college level with help side defenses doesn't work. Hornset's got his hands full with his defensive assignment.
Yeah, and he's been pretty quiet on the offensive end as well. We knew that'd be a big question mark. Well, now is Steele. Shot clock off. Campbell, the senior. drives, initiates contact, misses, offensive rebound, 2-1, and that's a buzzer beater, folks. A lay-in as time expires, and your halftime score